whatever Mariah said. Thankfully, because I did not want to be the one person that did not like this book. Audiobook of this saved my life. I feel like I look like that Oprah meme. I hate when authors do that. What twist could there be? Because I feel like I've already guessed it. I don't think I've ever struggled so much to get through 50 pages of a book. Hey, welcome back to my channel. This week I'm going to be letting a color wheel generator choose my books. I'm actually in the mood to read my physical owned books. That's what I'm going to be choosing from. The wheel is going to look very bootleg. I'm cheap. I'm not about to pay no subscription for anything. I tried to find one just like online, because typically you don't need like a subscription for that. I wasn't happy with it. I wanted to find one that was an app in the app store, so I did. I had to add some colors. I'm gonna go by the name. So if it says black, I'm gonna choose a book with a black cover. Black has red. Red is in yellow. So I have black, white, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink. 2, 1, let's go. I'm gonna assume it's gonna be yellow. Let's go find a book with a red cover. I have 2 options. Final Gambit, which is the last book in the trilogy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I could read this to just complete the series. Promise Boys by Nick Brooks, that I've been wanting to read for forever. I'm kind of leaning more toward both, because again, I could at least finish the series. But I've also been really wanting to read this one. Update, y'all. I just took a bath. It's not even 5 o'clock. I ended up going with, if you guessed it, the Final Gambit, just because I want to finish the series and get out of it. So I'm not going to get into plot, because this is a continuation, and not only that, but it's the final book in the trilogy. I do know there's another like half book or something, like the Hawthorne brothers. Personally, I'm not planning on reading anything else. I hate when authors do that. They give like this smaller book. It makes sense, but I'm not reading it. I ended up giving the Inheritance Games a 3-star. I didn't like it. This is more of like a mystery. I don't know if I thought maybe it was a thriller. I think at the time I didn't really understand the difference between mystery and thriller. I loved the second book, The Hawthorne Legacy. I ended up giving this a 5-star. I really enjoyed it. I had a couple of tabs. It doesn't look like a lot, but that's a good amount for a non-romance. I guess because I had already read the first one, I understood what was going on and what to expect. I remember certain things from the first and specifically the second book. I needed a refresher, so I used this video to refresh everything. Y'all, I was like this. It definitely helped a lot going into this one, and there are certain parts in here where we do get a reminder from the second book. Now keep in mind, this is 2024 me. 2024 me, I'm very critical. It's just too much going on. Too many twists, and this is connected to that, but then you gotta go all the way back to this because it's also connected. It's too much to remember what's going on. I am having a good time though. Final Gambit. I am giving this a 4-star. Had I read this when it came out or right after I had finished the second book, I probably would have given this a 5. It's just too much going on, and it kind of took me out of the story a little bit. The ending was a little bland to me, like when the conflict was taking place and the way that it was resolved was a little lacking. I'm gonna go ahead and do the color wheel again. Pick me, pick me. Okay. Hopefully it's... I feel like I look like that Oprah meme. I already know what I want. It's time! Or whatever Mariah said. Time to read Allegedly. I've been wanting to read this, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to film this video. We have a girl named Mary who at 9 years old is accused of allegedly a baby. She spends 6 years in baby jail. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15. Yeah. She gets out and she goes to a group home. Now, I was a bit confused on what this group home was because it felt like an extension of her stay at the baby jail. But the people at that group home can go out. They have to come back. I'm pretty sure they wear an ankle monitor. But they have like a little job that they can get outside, you know. So I was a bit confused. But it seems like she's still a person of the state. Person of the state? Is that how you call that? Because she just turned 16. At some point, they'll like reevaluate or whatever if she can get out of that group home. However, in this group home, it's just... a lot of the girls don't like her. Apparently, because out of all of them that's in there, she's the most famous one. She ends up getting pregnant while she was staying in the group home. She has a boy that she talks to and did it with at this place where she works. She works like I guess like hospice. She works at a hospital, but the floors where people are practically dying. The people that run her group home have found out, and now they're saying that once she gives birth, if she decides to continue the pregnancy, that the state will take that child because she is still a part of the state. I feel like I've clocked, not the whodunit, I guess like the whodunit. I feel like the whodunit is kind of obvious. I do not think it was Mary. I don't think anyone thinks it was Mary. Mind you, I'm only 129 pages in. The chapters are very long. Oh, yeah. That's a part of it. She obviously wants to keep her baby. I think she's ready now. What I don't understand is how she was convicted, but it doesn't sound like she actually admitted to that. Now it seems like she wants to tell the truth. And to tell that truth, she needs her mom. She ends up telling her mom, like, it's been long enough. Like, you need to tell the truth now. Tell them that I didn't do it. Yada, yada, yada. I'm curious how the rest of the story is going to go as far as, like, how the crime is going to be solved. Because I'm sure the crime is going to be solved. What's going to happen to her or whatnot. I think I know who did it. And I think I know because when it comes to books that have twists, right? We have a little twist and then we have a big twist. I think I know some of the little twists. I can't say it, because I know that if I am right, I'm going to come back and say I was right. And then y'all are going to know the twist. But I clocked it. If I'm right, I clocked it in chapter 1. Honestly, within like the first 20 pages. I was kind of weary about this. I didn't really know how to feel because I'm not liking some of the descriptions of these characters. Especially at the beginning of the book. One of the girls in the group home is described as being as black as tar.
What did he say?
Who says that? The way some of those characters talk, it feels like tropey or stereotypical, I don't know. The one thing that makes me happy in this book is how smart Mary is. And not that she's not giving up, she's also learning to, she's teaching herself, right? She doesn't go to school. She ended up getting an SAT book and she wants to take the SATs. And I don't know, that's just so inspiring. It just makes me feel good that given her situation, you know, like she hasn't given up all the way. And I don't feel like she's given up at all. But I think she is tired of her situation. And now that she has a baby, she's not only thinking about herself. But I'm just nervous to continue because I heard like the twist is really good. But it's like, what twist could there be? Because I feel like I've already guessed it. So what are we going to be doing in this? Today is also my library day. I have my book bag right here. Oh, I also fell down yesterday. I fell down on the pavement. I have a band-aid over it, but it's not covering everything. My knees are busted. Hey, I am back probably 30 days later. I'm kidding. It's definitely been a while. I was able to finish Allegedly again like days ago. I ended up giving it a 4-star. Where do I start? Out of all of the Tiffany D. Jackson books, I have not read them all, but out of the ones that I've read, I'm not shocked that when it comes to people's favorite books of hers, you have people who are team Allegedly and people who are team Monday's Not Coming. I could go get the book, I don't feel like it. Personally, I'm team Monday's Not Coming. But the reason why I think they just put these two together so much is because they are similar. The ending was really good. I think I should have read this first. So take it from me, if you have not read a Tiffany D. Jackson book, or if you've read her before and you're still debating on Monday's Not Coming or Allegedly first, personally, I would suggest Allegedly first. Just because Monday's Not Coming, I think the twist in there was just so shocking to me. This one wasn't. Now, I mean, the very end of this, sure, I'm like, but the ending, it made so much sense, like when you really think about it. Ultimately, I think that's what kind of, not ruined it for me, but I didn't love it as much as other people, or I didn't love it enough to give it a 5-star. That's just because Monday's Not Coming. It's just, it's up there. It's up there. Color wheel. Oop. No, I do not want pro. Let's see. What is that, orange? Okay, walk with me. Marty and the Great Game. Dark orange, borderline brown. Yellow orange, The Firekeeper's Daughter, which I've been wanting to read this, by the way. Honey and Spice. It's like a yellow mixed with, oh, it looks peach to me. The Secret to a Southern Wedding by Cynthia Williams. I have been wanting to read this as well. Again, this is like a peach, yellow orange back here. I don't think I'm gonna do this one because I think this one, now that I look at it, it's screaming more yellow. It's between these two. I'll come back with the results. Good news, bad news. Good news, I picked a book. Bad news, I picked this one. So excited to start this. I ended up picking my tabs as well last night. I went with a mixture of orange and yellow, and then I started it today. And I tell you, I don't think I've ever struggled so much to get through 50 pages of a book. It is so wordy. There's tons of dialogue. It's just crazy because there are some things that I like in book. I don't mind dialogue in books. That's fine. Well, I don't mind a lot of dialogue in books. But then it's like, you read one, that's the one complaint I have. The dialogue, but it's the detail. Now, it's not the type of detail that I normally talk about, like robotic type of detail. I woke up at 5 a.m. I got out the bed, put my left foot in my left shoe. It's not that type of detail. It's more so informational detail. The info dumping. This is another problem. I think this book would have done well with using different types of font because it's just not working. If you're not paying attention in this book, you will jump back in time and relive a moment of the characters. Her name is Kiki. Kiki for short. Her name is like Kikolia? So they have it in here, but I forgot. They normally just call her Kiki. They're talking, and it says, the rugby sock had the bar on Wednesday afternoons, yada, yada, yada. Early on, Amina, her best friend, had dragged me to a Blackwell Society meeting. The only clue that you get that you're about to jump back in time now is this, parentheses, not parentheses. Oh my gosh! I can't English today. Parentheses, that is parentheses. Apostrophe is this one. Parentheses and quotation marks. So the only clue that you get is, I'm gonna show y'all this way. Starts off with the parentheses and then it's in quotes or quotation marks, whatever. And then we're literally getting the whole moment live in action of her being dragged to this society. So it's like a story within a story, and it lasts so long that I'm forgetting that we're still in the past, and I'm like, wait, what are we doing right now? And it's just so confusing to me, and it's just so many names that we don't even need to know. Let's back up a little bit and let me tell you what it's about. So we have a girl named Kiki. She has this radio talk show on the school premises. It's very popular. It sounds like it's about dating, like helping people out with dating advice and stuff like that, and everyone knows who it is. They know who she is, who's running it, and they know that she doesn't really see anybody. And I guess it also fits her persona that she puts on for this talk show. She ends up running into him, Malachi. Malachi is new to the school, but he's kind of like a playboy. She ends up talking bad about him basically on her talk show. That's bad for business for him because now he's getting chewed out from left and right. Fast forward, they go to a party. He's there. She ends up using him to get away from another guy that we are introduced to at the very beginning of the book. His name is Zach. She uses Malachi. She kisses him and everything. The problem is she does it in front of everyone. Now, everyone is put off by this. People who she loses followers and listeners to her show because to them, it comes off as, oh, she wanted him for herself. Because remember, she just bad-mouthed him. That's kind of where I'm at. Page 100, and we're finally getting there. I think they're going to fake date. I haven't really read all of the synopsis. I'm just going based off of my memory because I also haven't gotten there yet. I also think that she's going to have him on her show. She's really into like media and stuff, and there's some type of, not really a competition, but this program that she can get if the teacher already sees the potential in her, but she wants her to do more. And we also find out that he is also the other student that's really good or whatever. So there's this other side to it. I decided to try out the audiobook, and finally we get this interaction at that party. As I'm listening to it, I have a piece of paper that I wrote down because again, I was on chapter 6 and I was listening to it and writing down what I wanted to tab. And then when I went on my next break, I ended up tabbing them. And again, that's quite a few. This is chapter 6 and chapter 7. I only listened to 2 chapters because I'm like, oh, I think it's finally looking up now. As soon as I finished tabbing chapter 7, I started chapter 8 on my break, and oh, I can't do it. I don't know what it is. I think it is better as an audiobook. I do like the narrator that is voicing Kiki. I do see a little bit of, something in here. I see we do have like a text message right there. But I think really when she goes back in time, giving us the backstory of something, it should have been in a different font, italicized, a different paragraph, because what I showed you, there was no like indentation, like a space in between. It's been a while since I've updated this specific video. Y'all were actually looking at 2024 me. This is 2025 me. If you guys watch my videos often, then you would know that Honey and Spice ended up being in another video as well. It's in the video where I'm trying to finish all the books that I'm in the middle of before the new year. The audiobook of this saved my life. I would not have been able to finish this book had I not listened to it. There is mixed media in here, and I just feel like it worked so much better as an audiobook. Kiki and Malachi are working together for this class, and they're interviewing people. As they're interviewing people, I loved it so much because I knew if I were to read it with my eyes, it would be very like bland, like question, answer, whatever. As an audiobook, for example, there's a scene in here where they're meeting maybe at a coffee shop to interview couples. It had something to do with love and relationships. They introduce each other like they're meeting the couple, and then they say, okay, are y'all ready for the interview? Yada, yada, yada. Something, I guess the narrator does, she flips some kind of switch on the microphone that she's speaking in, and all of a sudden it's like you're just there with them because it actually sounds like a recording of an interview. It was the coolest thing, but also you could hear murmuring in the back. Not too loud, like you could tell they were murmuring, like you didn't know what they were saying, but it was like you were, at a coffee shop or wherever it was, and you can hear people talking in the back. The book itself, of course, as soon as that relationship hit, and not relationship, but the fake dating aspect hit, it's like I started enjoying it so much more. I ended up giving Honey and Spice a 4-star. I really ended up enjoying it. Thankfully, because I did not want to be the one person that did not like this book. And sadly, that's where we were headed at the very beginning. So that's it for today's video. Comment down below an emoji in your favorite color. So if your favorite color is pink, drop down a pink emoji. If your favorite color is orange, drop down an orange emoji, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!